Welcome to the National Electrical and Communications Association and the Fair Work Ombudsman's electronic seminar for the Electrical, Electronic and Communications Contracting Industry Award 2010. My name is Oliver Judd. I'm the Employee Relations Manager for NECA, and I will also be your Fair Work Liaison Officer. If you have any questions in relation to this video, feel free to contact me on the details that will be provided later on to discuss any of the issues you may have. Please note that this video is supplemented by a guide to the Modern Award and the National Employment Standards. We recommend that you have a copy available with you during the video to assist you to understand the scenarios that are dealt with. To obtain a copy, simply fill your details into the form on this page and NECA will get a copy to you. This presentation is broken into chapters, each containing an explanation of each of the National Employment Standards, or NES, and an explanation of the more critical provisions of the Electrical, Electronic and Communications Contracting Award 2010. It is important that you understand the obligations outlined in this video, as there are significant fines that can be imposed where businesses do not comply. This chapter deals with meals and rest breaks. The Modern Award provides employees with an entitlement to an unpaid meal break of at least 30 minutes length after every 6 hours of work. In the case of shift workers, they are entitled to a paid 20-minute meal break every shift. In both cases, the employer is entitled to determine at what time meal breaks are to occur. Where an employer directs the employee to work during their meal break and beyond, the employee will be entitled to be paid at time and 1/2 until such time that the employee has taken their 30-minute unpaid meal break. This should not be confused with a situation where an employee takes it upon themselves to work through the designated meal break. In addition to the meal break, employers are also obliged to ensure that employees are afforded a paid 10-minute break, also known as SMOCO, in between the time of commencing work and the usual meal break. The Modern Award provides for a minimum 10-hour rest period between shifts. Where an employee has not been provided with a rest period of 10 hours, the employee shall not be required to return to work until the full 10 hours has expired. Where an employee's normal shift overlaps with the 10-hour rest period, the employee shall be entitled to be paid their ordinary rate of pay for the time not worked, which would usually form part of their normal shift. Take the following example, which is included at page 16 of the guide. Tony's usual starting time is 7 a.m. and his finish time is 3:30 p.m. When you factor in a half-hour meal break, Tony works 8 hours per day on a rostered day-off system. On Monday, Arthur requests Tony to work an additional 8 hours of overtime so that Tony completes his duties at 11:30 p.m. on Monday. Now, Tony is entitled to a 10-hour rest period, meaning he is not required to commence work until 9:30 a.m. on Tuesday morning. Now, because Tony's usual shift commences at 7 a.m., he will be entitled to be paid from 7 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. at his ordinary hourly rate, despite not actually commencing work until 9:30. If on the instruction of his employer, an employee continues to work without having had a 10-hour rest period, the employee will be entitled to be paid at the relevant overtime rate until such time that the employee has been able to take a 10-hour rest period. Using the example of Tony, he will be entitled to be paid time and 1/2 for the first 2 hours and double time for the remainder of the day, for example, from 9:30 a.m. until 3:30 p.m. The Modern Award also creates an obligation for employers to provide employees with a paid 20-minute rest break after each 4 hours of overtime worked, provided the employee is required to work beyond the rest break. Such breaks must be paid at the appropriate overtime rate of pay. Thank you for watching this video. We encourage you to watch all the chapters in this series. If you have any questions, you can contact me on the details that are shown, and if you haven't already obtained a copy of the guide, we strongly recommend that you get one as soon as possible.